So, I grew up going to church, um, like, until, like, middle school-ish. And then I didn't really go back. I haven't gone back. And I don't think I ever really believed in religion or Christianity. And I didn't even have a bad experience. I just never really believed in it. It just never made sense to me. Everything I thought was, like, metaphorical. I didn't really understand how any of it was real, and I wasn't really necessarily sheltered, but, like, or not heavily sheltered, but I wasn't one of those kids that really sought out much information. I don't know how to explain it. And I didn't know what a virgin was until, like, I don't know, I was at least in the double digits. But, so when they're talking about the Virgin Mary, I'm like, well, I don't know what that is. And I didn't understand what, I thought it was, like, maybe some sort of, like, saint. Like, you know, whatever saint is, it's, like, saint, you just called someone a virgin, like, I don't know. Or just some sort of, like, innocent thing. I just realized it looks kind of weird. I'm trying to open a thinking putty. But, so I had no idea what that went, and I didn't really understand how kids were made, and I didn't care. I didn't really think about it. I thought it was just, like, you just prayed hard enough, and then, like, you would just get pregnant, or, like, I don't know, the storks would come down. And that's the thing, I never asked because I didn't care. But I can't remember where I was going with this. Oh, yeah, so I never really believed in that, and not for any particular reason, except I just didn't. And I think that's a valid reason. Like, people are always like, oh, well, blah, 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 what do you do? You have a reason, but I just don't. I just don't. And I really don't care what anyone else believes in. Not in, like, a negative way. I just mean, like, you know, who cares? We're all gonna die. But like, you know, in an optimistic way. And, anytime people ask me, like, oh, are you, like, spiritual, about spirituality? I'm like, no, not at all, really. And I'm not an atheist. I don't think specifically, like, anything. I don't believe in ghosts. I don't believe in demons. I do believe that, like, when bad things happen, it, like, leaves something in that space. I've always explained it like a residue. Whenever people ask, like, this, like, as spiritual as I get, is like, you know, if you go to a place where something really awful happened, obviously just, like, the knowledge of an awful thing happening is going to make you be more wary, I guess, but I also think there's, like, an energy left there, and that could be, like, explained as a ghost. But it's not like it's, like, a person's spirit, it's, like, their energy, I don't know. It's, like, what was left behind. So, like, when a bad person dies and they did a bunch of evil shit, and it's, like, that's gonna leave that, like, that's gonna expel that energy into the world, because where else is it supposed to go? And, you know, if a good person, you know, when they die, obviously everyone's gonna be sad, but it's gonna be, you know, it's gonna leave a positive energy in that space and in the world. And I don't even know, like, I don't even feel like I would count that as, like, a spirituality thing, because it's just kind of like, well, yeah, no shit. Like, I mean, I don't know, because it's like, when bad people die, I don't care, it's not gonna make me sad, but it's like, there is still, like, that energy of, like, negativity, and then when good people die, it is gonna make me sad. So it's like, it's not really just like a, oh, well, yeah, when people die, you're gonna have a reaction to it. It's like, more about how, like, people's energy and spirit, like, imbues a space. And I think there's also a lot to say with just the way people, like, just inhabit a space and the way they treat other people and put themselves into the area and what they like and what they do, and I think that's really interesting. Like, just like, you know, somebody's moral standings and their opinions and all that kind of things. I feel like you can get a lot of that just from their spaces, like their rooms or their houses, their cars, their bathrooms. I don't know. But I can't open this shit. I think if I, like, keep it down this way, it might stay open. Or not stay open. It might open. And, I mean, I think I'm a person that is pretty obvious about what I like and who I am. Like, just if you look in my room, I just have a bunch of shit everywhere. I like to have a lot of stuff. I'm, like, a maximalist. I like my things, and I like to express that. And I think there's some people that don't, and I think both of those things are valid. I used to not, and it was more out of, like, embarrassment. I don't really know why. Of just, like, thinking everything I did or liked was embarrassing inherently just because I did it. But, same with my art. I didn't like showing people my art. I thought it was just cringe or stupid. And I always, like, you know, people always make fun of kids especially, just, like, bad art. But not just that. They, like, make fun of people who want to share their art. Unless they're, like, already... What's the word? Like, if someone's not already well-known or, liked, I guess, you're gonna be like, oh, what the hell is that? But the same thing could be made by a person who is famous or whatever the hell, or just, like, a reputation, that's the word, with a reputation. And then suddenly it's, like, cool and hot shit. It's like when things become trends and then suddenly it's not cringe and dumb anymore, and it's, like, cool. Like, there's a lot of things that I've liked or am like, and I still do, and I've always done it, but people were like, oh, that's stupid, when I was younger. Or my favorite movies, and it was like, oh, nobody cares, it's a bad thing, and suddenly it gets popular. And I don't think something being popular is bad, but it's whenever people pretend they were always in the same crowd as you were. Like, oh yeah, I was always in that crowd, I always liked it. And it's fine to get into something. It's just there's a difference between not knowing and not liking something, and then changing your opinion to fit in with other people. Like, you don't even have to like it. Like, if someone doesn't like my favorite movie, like, that's wrong, but, like, you don't have to. But if that same person, 2 weeks later, when it's suddenly, like, I don't know, number one on Letterboxd, is like, oh yeah, this was always my favorite movie. Dude, shut up. Like, shut up. That's like people pretending they like music. Oh, music gets me especially bad. 'Cause so much of my favorite music I liked before it got, like, popular. And then it's like, now suddenly everyone's like, oh, this one song's the best song I've ever written, I've always liked it. And a lot of stuff I like is hella popular, and that's also okay. Like, it's fine to like popular things, but it's like, when an artist is, like, getting one song popular, and then suddenly it's, like, stupid to like that. Like, it's not the fact that it's popular is the bad thing, it's the fact that the way it's perceived after it's popular is the bad thing. I don't know, and it's just like everyone's trying to, like, make up things to be different, and it's stupid. I don't like it, because it's like, okay, no one's that unique, and that's fine. Like, everyone's a different person, but we're all kind of the same. I'm like, I don't think I'm unique. There's, like, 5 guys I know that look exactly like me. Like, that's not special. And that's another thing is, like, with social media and stuff, is like, especially with the way it is now, it harbors so much comparison and so and jealousy, I guess. Like, of course, it always kind of did, but I feel like especially now, it's like so widespread, and you don't really. Everything's just to like get in your face and get your attention, and it's so fast paced, and you don't get to know anybody or know anything, and it's just like 30-second video after 30-second video, and I mean, I'm like, I do that too. I just flip through shit, and that's why I'm not on like TikTok anymore. I mean, I have it, but I'm like, no, I don't go on it. Because it would just always be like, I'd see people who would be like, wow, I wish I was like this, I wish I did this, I wish I could do this, I wish I had the money for that. And it's like, I don't really even think about it, because I'm like, well, I don't really compare myself to other people, but it's just like, subconsciously, it's like, there's such like a difference in the way I feel when I'm not interacting with that kind of stuff. If I'm not constantly looking at people who I think I gotta be like, I can enjoy what I enjoy better, and I can enjoy what I do better. And it's just more satisfying whenever your only comparison is to your past self, and just to yourself in general. But, I mean, nobody's going to be able to compare themselves to a 30-second video of a, like, manufactured, manicured kind of video, like, or post or something. And it's like, I don't know, I don't think there's any way to fix it, because it's like, well, yeah, what are you supposed to do? I don't really want to see some boring ass shit on the internet. If I'm gonna be wasting my time, I don't want to see something stupid and lame. Like, I don't want to see just like a picture of your wall. Like, I don't want to see that. So I'd rather have like interesting content. But then it's like, the interesting content is like, it's just gonna freaking like push back at you. It's not gonna be helpful. But yeah, I don't know. It's just, it just feels useless to try to copy. I don't know. Try to like do what everyone else is doing. Because instead of bringing who you are and what you do and what you like, just like all the things about you that make you somebody, to a community or space, you're bringing all these like accumulations of other people that you're like jealous of, and that's just not cool. I don't even think jealousy is like inherently a bad thing to feel. I think everyone feels jealous, and if you're like, oh, I'm not a jealous person, you're jealous, you're of something. Like, everyone wants something that someone else has, and it's like, I think that's perfectly natural. It's just the way you, I don't know, like, express that. Anyways, I could never get this open, and my camera's almost dead. And we can look at some art. Here's some for this graphic novel I'm still working on. That's Frank Iero, and that's Ray Tora. And this is another one for my graphic novel. You can see my foot. And I don't even know what the hell this is. I was just bored. It looks like a JoJo's character, but I never even watched JoJo's. But doesn't mean I'm stupid. I still know what the characters look like. And that's my whole sketchbook right now, because I just got a new one. Bye!